They did it, Joe. It wasn't episode 3. It wasn't episode 4, Alex. It was episode 2. So we're gonna bring you our review. And in this one, they changed some stuff.
Yeah,
and the reason why Alex is not holding this, and it's me and my scrawny arms, is because we've suspected this might be the case. We were thinking, oh, well, we're just seeing Abby before her transformation into Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. No, the show decided, nah, fuck that. That's ridiculous. Thus confirming Neil Druckmann and Abby's ridiculous size is stupid and shouldn't have been the thing. And in fact, he does that several times throughout this episode, changing and improving the situation around that, which to me is an admission of everything that I had laid out in our review of how it was handled.
Wrong.
So many defenders have said, you're wrong, this is this and that. Then why did he fucking change it? Neil Druckmann is a part of this. He changed a bunch of stuff and, by all admissions, did improve some of the situations, making it less stupid. Yes. Okay? Let's just jump fucking right in. They combine the fucking moment where Joel is murdered with a golf club, gets fucking kneecapped with a shotgun first, then Abby takes her sweet time. Abby, who I cannot stop seeing as Ellie, it's just driving my brain insane because that doesn't look like Abby to me. And then I just fucking hate Abby so much. I hate this character. I hated her in the video games. I hate her here. And
you're supposed to.
Yeah, you're supposed to. I get it because she's killing Joel, which is one of my favorite characters. And
everyone's,
Joel, who protects Ellie, shows love through protection, surrogate father figure. And then they combine this whole scene with a big action sequence at Jackson where all the zombies come towards the fucking... And thankfully, it's not at night like Game of Thrones and HBO did before, and they didn't use stupid, ridiculous tactics. They actually, they wrote this one about as realistic as possible, though Jackson would be overrun if it really happened. Unless they have that much ammunition and that much guns, I'm surprised.
But oil... I mean, look, I played a lot of Stronghold. You put a lot of oil down in the field when you're getting invaded, you can burn a lot of...
I thought it was clever that they had the barrel stuff.
Yeah.
Don't know if it worked exactly as well as it did there, but I thought it was really cool. So honestly, while the moment is there, and we'll talk about the moment and we'll talk about how it's changed, is it still impactful? If I were to take the episode on its own, I have to admit, I thought it was an action-packed episode. I thought it was a good episode. And it's not fucking garbage shit where I hate it like, the moment that happened in the video games. Mm-hmm. What did you guys think of episode 2?
This episode I really liked. I really liked the action stuff, kind of ramped it up as well. I do like Abby's acting, but I cannot believe her as this badass.
Yeah.
Like, she did a great job, like, pouring her heart out and doing all that stuff at the final scene. But her being demanding, being the boss, I don't believe it. She's still, like, she's pretty small and tiny.
She's like, shut up!
Yeah.
And I'll be like, man, you shut the fuck up!
Yeah, and the team's already kind of, like, against her. It's like, no, this is a bad idea. This is like...
That wasn't in the game.
It wasn't. Like, she's not very menacing as the leader. I don't believe that.
Force them to murder them.
Yeah, I don't believe that yet, but I do like her acting. Ellie is still kind of on the fence. I don't like her as much right now. I don't know if that's going to grow, but right now I'm that's kind of the weaker points. But it was still impactful. I liked the show. This was a great episode.
Yeah, I think it's also a great episode. There's some subtle things that happen here that, I personally asked for when we did a sit-down review that was like... and then it kind of makes things make sense. Like, rather than walk into a room of fully armed people that you don't know, announcing your name, rank, and serial number. Hey, my name is Joel. I was recently in Seattle a couple years ago, and I shot this dude.
Yeah.
My address is 7128.
Yeah. Well, it was Dina who reveals that his name is Joel, and it was exactly how we said it was. It wasn't in I'm telling a stranger who I am. It's
moment of panic.
It's a moment of panic, and
she actually, and the show even does it even better than that. She's not even aware that there's another the
person
person
that-
with Joel.
Yeah.
She's just screaming for Joel.
Yeah, and so it's a totally action-packed episode. I mean, you have to look at Abby at like Joffrey, right? Like you're not supposed to like this character.
Yeah.
She's completely and totally unreasonable. She's an absolute psychopath. Even her allies are like, man, she's kind of nuts. She's going to get us all killed. The only thing that kind of makes me mad is I don't like Ellie. And I still
like Ellie.
And I don't know what it is. And I know that Ellie's supposed to be, as a character right now,
I
supposed
hated her even more.
is supposed to be in this like weird spot. She's trying to figure out where she fits in. She's still kind of mad about the past. I get all that. The thing is, there's a disconnect for me. I don't know if it's expectations from the video game.
Yes.
I see
Yes.
so much like hate on the internet for the actress, and I think it's gross.
It is gross.
I think that the people can be miscast, and you shouldn't hate on the actress itself. And for me, it feels like it's a miscast, and it constantly bugs me. But it's not because she doesn't look.
I get it,
I
yeah.
just want to reiterate for the
Yes.
people. It's not. It's like, oh, you know.
But we thought, how did you think she was? Because we thought she did okay for season 1.
Yeah.
And we thought, we were worried about it, and our worries have come to fruition.
Yeah, it's tough when you have a passage of time and someone's supposed to kind of grow up, and the whole age thing, it doesn't always work out where people feel more mature. And so I'm looking at her, and it's like she doesn't feel like Ellie at that period of her life.
Abby looks more like Ellie at that period of life
Yeah.
than Ellie is, and she's still playing up the "I'm a little fucking shit," and I'm hating her
it's
right
getting
now.
annoying.
1,000. Get the fuck out of here.
Ah, yes. Certainty masquerading as knowledge. It's very Ellie of you.
Suck my dick.
Also,
I hate Ellie, and it's funny. Maybe this is on purpose because I fucking hated Ellie and The Last of Us Part 2. And all the decisions that she was making and the way that she was acting later on, and it's like, well, okay, if you're trying to make me align, I hated the game. I hated many aspects of the game. I get what they're going for. They're telling a tragic tale. They're telling a tale of revenge leads to fucking nothing, and it's just more heartbreak, and everybody's the hero of their own story. I get it, but in the video game, I think it was told and executed poorly with some ridiculous elements that stood out. And clearly, Druckmann has admitted now, after all of these changes, that some of the elements were ridiculous. Some of them were poorly done and poorly executed because they've changed them and they've improved them here. They did make one change that I think is worse, and we'll talk about it when we get to the moment.
Craig that did it. I mean, I know Druckmann's
Right.
involved.
Thank
It doesn't
you
have
for
to,
mentioning
it.
I was
Does
going to
not-
say that next.
It doesn't have to be Druckmann admitting fault. It could just be Craig's like, hey, for
Let's tighten
believability
it up.
purposes. we
Yeah,
have to
but
do it this way.
Druckmann knows because he was defending this shit constantly against people. So if Mason convinces Druckmann that he needs to change it, it's still an admission. It's still a change. And it's for the better because most of all of these changes are for the better. So just fucking embrace it. Be like, yeah, I'm not a perfect writer. I thought it would go this way and it didn't go that way. That's all. We're not the weirdos that are like, okay, well, now all the rest of your shit is permanently garbage and will always be the worst thing ever. It's like, no, just admit it. It's when you say, no, I'm not going to admit it. I'm not going to admit to nothing just because there's, some weirdo haters and then you dismiss everybody in that same bucket. That's kind of where we ended up.
You can't have discussions with people about this game because there's craziness everywhere. This story is really tough because at this point in the story we kind of lose the person to root for.
Yeah.
Because Ellie, in my opinion, I don't like Ellie as a character. I don't like
hate her.
Abby as a character. Like they're both kind of like shitty teenagers, and it's just like who am I rooting for? And then the game tries to get you to root for one more than the other, and then that kind of switches all over the place. But I maybe it's intentional, like you said. Maybe we're supposed to not like Ellie. Maybe we're supposed to not like Abby. It's like, well, if you're successful in making me not like your characters, what does that make? What does that do for next week and the week after?
that's exactly
Audiences
what
are going to
we're
be like,
worried
wait a
about.
minute, who am I rooting for here?
Shut up. Suck my dick, Alex.
Oh,
Because that's Ellie.
Yeah.
That's literally what she tells fucking Jesse when Jesse brings up a legitimate concern. She's like, thousands. There can't be thousands. What are you, crazy? What are you, stupid? Get the fuck out of here. And Jesse's like, well, we have to prepare. Suck my dick.
Suck my dick.
Also,
I hate her. And she wasn't really like this in the video game, at least not initially. So
they ramped it up.
Yeah, they've definitely ramped it up, and I think it's because maybe they believe that, oh well, the 4-year change, she looks the same, so maybe we'll just have her continue to act like she's a little girl, and then after this moment, that's when she makes the transition, and I guess that's what we're there for. So, all right, well let's. So we thought, as far as entertainment value, this was definitely an action-packed episode. Plenty of money on screen, CGI, that bloater there.
They suit.
They didn't use the suit, Joe. It's
CG.
motherfucking CG.
Yeah.
That's
Damn
the
it.
thing that blows me away.
It's like,
We
you
were
had
talking
it.
about this fucking suit.
You had it.
And this is not a suit. This is a CGI. So I'm like, okay. And
Maybe
now
it
it
was
makes me
both.
question, was the first one a suit? It's like, why would you just throw
I
that suit
thought-
away?
yeah.
We have the financial figures. They told us how much the suit cost.
Yeah. It's
Did they?
fucking
Yeah, that's
expensive.
So, what the fuck? That really blows me away.
Maybe
All
it
right.
was the suit some of the time, and there were like stand-ins, but like there were scenes
Looks
where it's
bad.
very CG.
It
and
looks
it's like
totally CG to me. So we get the action sequence. The action is there. So,
They should have just focused down. It's
it-
like, oh no, the bloater's like, everyone focus on that guy. It's like, nah, just let him bust
everyone
through.
was panicking like crazy.
but I also have to factor in to my score the story being told and whether I like it or not. And losing the best actor in the show, losing, in my opinion, the most compelling character. I don't care. I don't care about the rest. I've played through the rest. I know the rest. I know
They're
it's
gonna
coming.
change it, though. They're
Never.
gonna change it.
It's never right. That's the only thing I'm looking forward to. These small, tiny
Yeah.
little changes. I don't
And
think
flashbacks.
Druckmann is going to do anything major. We will have flashbacks
Yeah.
of Joel. It does seem as if they did reconcile, and they're saving that scene. The guitar stuff and
Natural History
the
Museum.
Natural History Museum stuff. So that is going to do that's going to help people get through. But fucking season 3, fuck off. I'm not going to
Maybe you'll be hooked by then, Joe. That's the
hooked. I don't think the Abby character in the TV series is working. And Ellie has completely lost me, and I hate her character, and I hate
She
the
might
characterization.
grow next
hate it.
episode. But
I
I'm with you with
hate
Abby
it.
though. Like, yeah,
And
she's
now
a
we
good
got
actor,
the-
but
no,
I
we
don't
got-
believe her as a general, like a leader. I don't.
No, I don't know, and I don't know what. And then Neil Druckmann can't fucking help himself. Now we got the woman, the bald-headed lady from Intergalactic. I'm like, why is the Intergalactic lady there?
If you're going to Wyoming when the wintertime, you want hair.
Yeah,
To
what
look
the
cool.
fuck are you doing?
No,
You
no,
wanna
you,
look
you
cool.
want
Clearly
hair
it's because
it's
she
cold
was-
as shit.
She was motion capturing and filming shit for Intergalactic. Well, why put her in? Just bring the original voice actress and have the original voice actress play that character. Have anybody play the character.
put a
But they're
wig.
just doing the stupid
Yeah,
shit.
I
Oh,
know.
so does this mean the Last of Us universe is connected to the Intergalactic universe?
Yes.
Did you know
put a
that this
wig.
particular character survives the apocalypse and eventually builds a safe space civilization?
Impossible.
Goes into space?
Anything is
No,
possible.
I just it takes me out of it. I'm like, where the fuck? That's just from a video game player standpoint. People that never played the games and don't follow Naughty Dog are gonna be like, I don't. who
Whoa,
is this?
fucking
She bald-headed.
crazy.
Yeah, that's basically it. But what I was saying is that I have to factor in the fact that Joel dies, and the way it's executed here, and my feelings of what it does to the series, and my interest level in the series, and this is like I'm fucking watching, I don't know, a good fucking example. Like a Bugs Bunny cartoon, and Bugs Bunny dies, and then I have to continue on with Bugs Bunny's surrogate. See, no, that's a bad example. But it's just, I'm here for a certain dynamic. I'm here for a certain story.
I would
and
say
it's-
best comparison would probably be like, what is it, the 70s show? They replaced Topher with the other guy. God, went downhill from there.
I didn't even know that happened.
It happened and it went downhill
Topher
fast.
Grace was replaced by somebody else.
Yeah, and it went downhill fast.
I think I can't.
Is a new
And
actor, or they said he went off to college
went
or
off
something?
to some-
Well, so that's not even there because there were other characters that you liked. This is replacing the only character that that people
he
like.
was the
So a
main
sitcom
one, though.
and a
He was the
character you
main
like,
one.
and
Two and a
then
Half
he
Men.
leaves 2.5 Men, and now it's something completely different. And they think, oh, but this is great. We have great stories to tell. Don't worry, just because
just-
the person you're here for is gone.
You take that
this
one
is that
thing
situation.
out,
And
it's
so
not the same.
yeah, I'm gonna factor that in. But overall, we get the action scene. We get actually some faithful recreations. Jesse waking up, Ellie kind of explaining the kiss with Dina. We get the apology from the homophobic dude.
Steak sandwiches?
This stuff is coming straight from the video
He can
games.
spit on him.
That's what I'd be worried about. I wouldn't need that shit. And probably spit on because they're forcing him to apologize, and some people don't take.
He
time.
seemed genuinely.
He
sorry.
did seem genuine in the video game. I wouldn't eat those sandwiches because I wasn't sure about his
just eat those
genuineness in the
sandwiches.
video game. But I did like how they gave Tommy more. Tommy had more to do in the big ass action sequence and the
Instead of doing something
flamethrower.
dumb.
It brings the moment back to the
I
game.
like this
When
better,
you're using
way
a
better.
fucking flamethrower and this massive fucking bloater, and you're like, wait a minute, is he gonna die before he gets to me? And that's straight from the video games because it's effective, but you're not sure if it'll
For
kill
me,
the
it was a
thing.
huge improvement for Tommy as opposed to what he really did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they fucked
Yeah.
Tommy up in the video game as well.
Oh, this is my brother Joe.
No,
It's like,
they must
shut the fuck up.
Yep, that's me. I'm Joe. Here's my address and everything. And then Tommy just gets beat up. Here, instead, Dina is traveling with Joel. And it's weird. They put Dina to sleep. I guess they're trying to say they're trying to soften Abby and Abby's crew. Because in the video game, they just want to beat everybody
They
up.
don't have rope.
Yeah.
It's a giant fucking lodge. You tie her ass up and you put her. Like, it was so weird. They're like, oh, we're going to put her to sleep.
Just
It's like-
for an hour. It's like, why are you
what?
wasting
Just
resources?
tie her
What
up.
is this? I
Yeah,
don't
it was. That's a
Or
nitpick.
just punch her the fuck out. Like, what?
you go to
She
go to
couldn't.
sleep.
She's not
It's
big
weird.
enough.
She's not
but
strong.
yeah,
We have to be
she kinda
so
was.
gentle to Dina's I don't understand it.
Maybe it's like they're trying to build the Mel character and show you that she's like a competent doctor person.
Okay.
Like maybe, but
Yeah.
it still was weird.
Yeah. Which, by the way, let me fucking talk about Mel, this pregnant lady. Did you notice she was pregnant, Joe? No. Why? Because it's fucking stupid to have a fucking soldier lady and bring her out here. Now we're gonna have the moments in the games where it's like, get in the car, let's go shooting with the fucking pregnant lady.
So
That
fucking
always
doing
bothered me.
Some front rows and some side rows. It's like, you got a baby in there. You
Yeah,
gotta take it easy.
Why don't you stay behind? We'll bring somebody else, or you just stay behind. Period.
They may make her pregnant later on,
Or
but
maybe-
I think she's pregnant now, and they're just fucking hiding it.
Baby, they won't make her
she's-
pregnant.
This is, anyways. I fucking hate what they did with the pregnant lady in the video game. We'll see how it continues here. So we got a lot of different elements
Yes,
in the show.
Another one is now it's Jess and Ellie, because it's before it was like Dina and Ellie. They're having the whole
Jesse.
scene. No, because they went off together. They had the whole
Jesse
scene.
and Ellie.
Yeah, but in the video game they switched it up,
yeah.
and it was different. I like this one a little bit better. No, you don't like it? With Jess?
I don't care because, we need bonding between Jesse we need bonding between Ellie and her girlfriend, who eventually becomes her partner long term. We need to build that. But I didn't care. In the video game, I fucking hated it. It just made me hate them more because they're supposed to be fucking on patrol. They're shirking their duties. And maybe if they were actually
Yeah.
out there looking for Joel, none of this would have fucking happened.
Yeah, they switched it up there, and I think they're doing
And
a
I think
good
they
job
removed
of the
it
chemistry.
because they didn't want to put any blame on anybody.
Yeah,
But
well,
there's going to be guilt.
You have to build up Jesse because of what happens. Because
Yeah,
you
they-
want
they
to
need
endear us. They
more
endear us.
Jesse.
I thought that they handled the dialogue between Dina and Ellie in the video game. No, I wouldn't say poorly, but it wasn't anywhere near as good as the dialogue we got in the first video game. So for them, I think that Ellie has more, at least now in this iteration, has more rapport with Jesse. Like, I like their conversations infinitely better here between Ellie and Jesse than Ellie and Dina in the video game. So
Yes,
I agree with him.
But I'm going to one up that because I agree with you. But what do you think? Because I think the actress for Dina is really good.
She's the only-
and she's better than the video game version of Dina. So if we give her more time, maybe it gives that actress more time.
We're gonna get more time because like there's two unlikable characters who are the main characters, and there's two likable characters who are temporary. Like, because Dina's great, and I think Jesse's great.
Yeah.
I
and
can't,
so it's
I
like,
can't believe it that now, now
Now he's
the
waiting for the
characters
other
that I didn't
shoe
care
to
about
drop.
in the video game are now the only ones that I have to hold on to and be interested in moving forward. Dina, of all fucking people, which I didn't like in the video game. And Jesse, and we all know what's coming there. So that's going to piss people off even more if they're building Jesse. And they are. You can tell. Ellie's like, you're going to be the leader one day. She just randomly throws
you're
that in
3
there.
days from retirement, Jesse.
They just randomly throw
Excuse
it.
me? Why would you
All
say
right,
that?
Let's go ahead and give this episode a rating. This one's tough for me. I
Okay,
don't know.
I'm just as this episode. I'm not factoring the
Sure.
game and stuff like that. They did do a lot of stuff. They fixed a lot of things that I didn't like.
Okay.
I like the action stuff. I like the Tommy fix. I liked it a lot. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
with a 9. I liked everyone's performance. I liked everything. But I just can't get behind Ellie, and I can't get behind Abby because I don't see her as
The
that
two
big.
central characters
I know.
of the fucking
I
series.
know.
Yeah.
But everything else was pretty great.
Okay, well that doesn't bode well for the future, Joe. And
I know.
before, Alex,
That's why it's like I'm not trying to think about that. Then maybe they'll do some changes, and Abby's gonna change, or well, not change, but Ellie.
We'll talk about it more, but I just want to mention that in the video games, they didn't really give Abby the moment to monologue in front of Joel. Joel tells her to shut the fuck up right away and get it over with. Here, she monologues. And I don't like this change. That's the one change that I didn't like because it gives Joel the opportunity to fucking talk to her and
Yes.
tell her that her
That's
fucking
another thing I was
father
gonna
was
bring
going
up.
to
He
kill
should have said
somebody.
something.
But he sits there in silence, lets her do it. And
Just
then when she
fucking kill
grabs the
me.
golf clubs, he's like, shut the fuck up. And I was like, yes, please shut the fuck up. Anyway, so go, Alex.
Yeah, I think he knew he was gonna. It wouldn't matter.
He's like, it doesn't matter what I say at
Yeah,
this point.
yeah.
And you can pick that up from Joel's
Yeah,
performance.
I agree. I was at a 9 out of 10. Like they got a lot of things that they swapped things subtly that for me made things so much more believable. I think the action was great. I was complaining in season 1 that the zombies were kind of
And
the
they were
setting,
there.
not necessarily like this force I was scared of, and so it was kind of weird. We got incredible amounts of zombies. We got a major action piece. We've got this thing's version of the Red Wedding. Now, I don't know if we're gonna have characters that I really love and follow. I'm hoping that all of season 2 will have flashbacks in every episode. We've got guitar ones. We've got natural history museum. So I think that this is
milk
not
it.
the end for Pedro Pascal in this
for
season.
sure.
Next season, maybe one scene, but
Right, because they're going to do
but
the
I think they
religious
did a
cult thing.
I think they did a really good job with this episode. I like all of the characters that I liked in the past more. Like Tommy, I think is better. Jesse, I think is great. I like Dina. I didn't like. I mean, Ellie. I have an issue with it, and I'm hoping that we're at the point now where they're setting up an arc, and she gets more believable. I don't necessarily need her to be more likable. I just don't believe her as Ellie, and I have the same problem, like you said, with Abby, that it's just like these changes are kind of odd, but maybe this is the start of an arc. But I think they did a really good job with this episode. I give it a 9.
I also wrote down a 9, but I'm going to give it an unjustified -1 because my favorite character is dead. Okay. So I'm going with an 8 out of 10 in a vengeance, but my actual rating is a 9. Because they improved things. They didn't say, well, no, fuck you. We're going to leave everything the same. I wrote it. There's nothing wrong with it. Whether it was Manzin and Druckmann, they did change things to improve. Now, there's still some logic jumps here and there, but, life is messy, and so you can contribute it to all that kind of stuff. I think the action sequences, while it probably couldn't work in the game because that moment needed more impact, it does work here for the entertainment factor. And now I'm factoring in how they done a better zombie massive attack on a siege than fucking Game of Thrones did and all these other bits. I give it credit there. However, I think I am going to go an 8 out of 10. And for whatever reason, it's because it may not be fair because maybe because I'm a video game player, it didn't have the impact that it originally had. And I think it's Not only is it because I know what's coming, I've already gone through the trauma, I've seen it happen, but I think the way they reordered stuff, the way, stuff was revealed, all the motivations were revealed. We don't really spend enough time with Joel, which was my criticism in the game as well, to really, feel it, well done here. I think the lack of impact on one of my favorite characters dying, while I thought it was sad, it just wasn't fully there for me for some reason. And so I'm going to go 8 out of 10, and then we can dive into the episode breakdown and then the moment itself and how they changed it and, what we think of it. So, that's it. Whether we do episode by episode, if you want us to continue that, let us know. I think might be helpful to do the next episode where Joel's not going to be in it since he's dead.
Flashbacks.
But then they know immediately, oh shit, we're going to lose all of our viewers. So make sure to stuff the next episode with plenty of Joel. So there's going to be a flashback. I think the guitar flashback is what we'll get. I think they'll save the museum for later on in the series. And then I really don't know how they're going to transition, how they'll end this season and go to season 3. Whether Ellie is a murder ninja before or after. I think probably she's becoming the murder ninja.
Yeah, she's
and
getting
then
close.
In season 3, she'll
And
do
then that's
murder
how it
ninja, kill everybody in the dark, just walking through the forest with the fucking...
Yeah, she says nasty things after she kills these people with families and children.
Yeah, she's going to get even worse. And I think Bella Ramsey's performance is going to be insufferable. Because if she's already an insufferable little shit, which she wasn't in the video game until this happened, and then, of course, this breaks her brain and she goes on a rampage, I don't know. I'm worried about it. So we'll continue. Okay.
The town would have been
go to episode breakdown.
Okay.
Go ahead. What'd you say?
I was gonna say the town was dead. Ain't no way.
Ain't no way they survived that shit.
No.
Yeah. So let's go to the episode breakdown, though. We'll get to the town moment in a second. So they do the dream sequence. This is the first thing that starts off. And, this kind of supplements the fact that we play through Abby. And it's fucking annoying. I'm like, who the fuck is this? I don't care. And, I'm punching zombies and shit and getting out of situations. But they kind of sum it all up in a quick, nice sequence. I don't even recognize you. And she's talking to herself, the older version of Abby, who's revenge-stricken, and a younger, innocent version of Abby who hasn't yet seen her dead father.
Same size.
Exactly the same size.
This is like, I don't know you. It's like looking into a mirror.
Arms
What are you
like
talking
this
about?
instead of big arms like that. And that, it's like, well... I gotta give you some shit for that because it was ridiculous in the video game, and you knew it was ridiculous, and then you defended it.
I'm totally fine with it being ridiculous in the video game because video games are ridiculous.
Ended up having fun.
The problem that I had with it was everyone's like, "No, it's a totally normal thing." It's like, bro, no, it isn't.
No, it isn't. Shut up. Okay, and then we got the dream sequence, and then we go to her crew finding. Rather nice ski resort. That's a nice little.
Yeah, it was. It's like looking
B&B.
over the town. It's like, oh, we didn't know this was gonna happen. It's like, all right, we gotta come up with a plan. It's like, all right, I have a plan.
What's the plan? And she's like, or he's like,
let me marinate on this. I'm gonna think about it. She's like, okay, I'm gonna go up in the mountain and just start looking for random shit. I'm like, okay, cool.
Okay.
And
let's go, everybody. Let's go.
Yeah, and then she leaves. It's like, all right, what's the plan? We need to
convince
talk her
her
down
to get
and
her out of there.
Let's leave.
I really like this scene. I wish the scene actually had gone a little bit further. I would like them to be like, this is crazy. I don't need them to justify Joel's actions. I would never have them go that far. But it's like, hey, we've been dragged all over hell and back. This is kind of nuts for us to go. We are going to die because this is in a tent village. Like I said.
and again with Abby not looking as menacing, you're like, yeah, just pick her up.
It would have not worked, and only because of the writer's. It's not a writer's crutch; it is a writer's loophole, and you could just say it was fate. fate brought Joel to her. And it's like, yeah, damn it, I hate that it works for you, but I hate it because otherwise that shit would have never happened.
Nope.
Anyways, and then the bald-headed chick from Intergalactic, she, I'm like, oh yeah, I know what you're doing here. You're promoting. It's like, yeah, we love her, we worked with her, and we're just gonna put her in the show and now it's canon. So eventually society will come together, and then they will create FTL, and Porsche will come back because she drives a Porsche ship, right? It was like
This
Porsche
logo,
brand.
yeah.
This logo. Anyways, their plan was to ambush a patrol and make them tell them where Joel is. Actually, some behind the scenes stuff said that their video game was going to have a sequence where they pretended to be Jackson members, went in there, and then tried to get Joel in there, but then they couldn't make it work. It just wasn't believable. So that twist of fate where they met outside was better, and ultimately it was better. So we get a Jesse and Ellie scene straight from the video games. She's oversleeping, shirking her responsibilities, just being so nonchalant about things and being a little shit.
Yep.
And then as they're walking through the streets, I hate her. I hate her dialogue. I hate her attitude. And it just makes me want to hate her even before I hate her later. So you got that moment where there could be 1,000 of them. We have to prep. Get the fuck out of here. And he's like, oh, just, what is it? Confident ignorance. That's great. And she's like, suck my dick. And I'm like,
Joe, you're supposed to hate her. Yeah. Joe, clickety clacks right now. You're supposed to not like her, and it's like, well, congratulations, you made me not like her.
Yeah. She wanted to go on patrol with Joel, but he already went out, and this implies that they kind of worked through it a little bit. At least they had a conversation. Yeah. The show is really playing it up. Joel tragically dies without patching things up with Ellie. He's watching Jackson be absolutely burned and assaulted, and then he sees Ellie, and then he dies. But we're going to get a small little consolation that they did talk to each other. She references it slightly here, and they'll reveal it in a big way for emotional impact in the next episode.
I was shocked that there was no therapist scene here, because I thought for sure that we were going to get some sort of therapist and they were going to continue with it.
I think that's coming.
You think it's going to be another flashback?
I don't want, honestly, she's a great actress. The Home Alone lady, what's her name?
Yeah.
Catherine
something.
Yeah, but I don't want Ellie to go to therapy, and though that's clearly what's going to happen. Yeah. She's going to go with therapy. She's going to learn more about Joel and all this other stuff. And all right. Anyways, Tommy gives a speech to everybody in the main hall, and
there's stupid little girl in there is trying to get everyone
to the forest.
And
yes,
it's like,
follow her to the forest.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a thing. I feel like they planted that, I think, in there for a reason, and something's gonna happen.
I just want to have a cute kid say something silly.
All right, you don't think it'll result in anything? Then we also have the homophobic dude apologizes. He makes some mistakes. Sandwiches just like from the video game. This guy does seem a little bit more genuine in his apology than the video game guy. Meanwhile, the patrols are out there. The storm is getting worse, and they're having a difficulty contacting the patrols to bring them back in. And, there's got to be some kind of procedure here. It's like, when you start to see a fucking storm, just turn around and go back. Don't try to power through it. But if this was real life, but I guess maybe sometimes storms, blizzards, so unpredictable. Bam, and it's already on top of you. So.
You need to hunker down.
All right.
Yeah.
They hold up in a house, and Jesse actually also his crew says I have a place that we can go to.
We get Eugene's place.
Yep.
With
all the
grow
weed.
house. Yeah.
We learned that Eugene was a firefly, and just like the game, and
Jesse tells Ellie, he's like, well, Joe had to do what he had to do.
Yep.
He had to kill him.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Abby is alone, stalking and hunting her prey. She sees the 2 horses, 2 riders, and they did absolutely nothing.
But she fell
Abby
down.
up.
Yeah, she fell down, and then I guess she saw everything.
Yeah.
They did nothing to bulk her up, so no, we won't be getting any scenes of weightlifting and I don't know, whey protein. She found the whey protein factory. She found the steroid factory. No.
Yeah, because looking back at the game, I was like, Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. Her arms were bigger than Alex. We had to use Alex for it. So that's not happening. Like Joe said, she rolls down a hill and kind of gets unlucky, or lucky in her case, because it's what kind of brings her with Joel. Otherwise, it probably, I think the crew would eventually have convinced her to fucking leave. Or maybe they all get killed by Jackson when they try to do their stupid shit. But she rolls into a pit of walkers. This was set up previously that the walkers have a new tactic where they're hiding under the other bodies on top. And so she disturbs some of the bodies, and the Horde wakes up, and they come running. Simultaneously, Jackson disturbs the pipe with the little spores, and the Horde comes running. So the Horde originally, I think, is attacking Abby, and then the show makes a point to show them veering off once the pipe thing has been disturbed, fungus has been disturbed, and that's what kind of gives temporary relief to Abby, but it's not over because the zombies do continue to chase them at that building. Straight from the game, we get the fence scene straight from the game where the fence is collapsing. They try to make it even more tense, which I think they do a good job. Like, the zombies are like crushing their hands to get through. One even actually gets through, and that's the one that Joel shoots in the head and saves Abby's life. God damn it.
Damn it.
Give me your hand. Can you run? And like, da-da-da-da. Oh, should have never done that. That's when Dina calls him Joe in front of her.
Like, Joe, what do we do? It's like, okay, that's believable.
Good change, good change. Abby suggests going to her hold up, and maybe there won't be infected up there because they're all down here, is her reasoning. They go, all right, well, we get a scene of the radio woman not able to reach Joel and Dina, and Tommy is going crazy. He's like, you fucking contact him every 5 seconds because, you know, he loves his brother and he wants the same thing to happen. This is a moment where Ellie and Jesse just split up and they go after Joel. The storm is really coming down. That just sets up where Ellie gets to finally see the final moments of Joel in a bit. And then what else? That's when we get the Horde. So the Jackson Horde scene. What do you guys think of this one?
I liked it. It was very tense. I liked their tactics they're doing. Very entertaining.
Yeah.
Nice
they hunker
switch.
down. They ring the bell. You look through binoculars, and I'm like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. That's what some of those flamer guys are doing. Let's get the fuck out of here.
It's like as soon as Bloater shows up, it's like, we're in trouble.
Yeah. So they're repelling them. Things are going well. They use some oil drums. They fire the oil drums, which create fire. I thought it was going to be an explosion. I think they're shooter like video game brain blows up.
They
get a little
One
fire, and then once it lights on fire, they start exploding. Unfortunately, the infected have a plan. They start moving, and they're curious. And Tommy's like, what the fuck is going on over here? And it turns out that there's just a bloater in that direction. So I thought the infected were doing something more clever than just following one bloater who chooses a random spot in the wall. The berserkers. So he just basically breaks through, and that's when they say, okay, switch to the streets, and then everybody hunker down in their buildings. Though they need to give some guns to some of the people that are waiting in the basement.
Yeah,
but I guess they were like,
ducks.
we need all guns up top. That could make sense too. That we need all of our guns, on deck, because boom, that shit breaks open and
just pouring in, jumping into windows, trying to get to the top floor.
It's scary stuff. And
yeah, I'm like,
well done. And some of the Horde even gets to the rooftops, and then you're firing at your friends to help them, and gunfire everywhere. It's crazy.
Everyone's panicking. Then we get those 2 people like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Never gonna live that down if they survive.
And at one point, Tommy sees the creature is heading for his wife, and so he tries to distract the creature by firing a pistol. This was a little ridiculous because all the infected were kind of ignoring Tommy while he's able to do this, but whatever. I guess it's the hero moment.
Armor, yeah.
Plot armor. And he does get the attention of the bloater. He goes into a corner. For a man who has a plan, it's kind of dumb that he ends up in a corner, but I'm glad it happened.
You lived there, Tommy. You should know that.
You're the one that set up all these.
He runs to a doorway that had been barricaded, and he doesn't have time to. I mean, you know, in his
Yeah, you
defense.
probably know where the barricades are at, but yeah, it just set up a good tense scene because we get the flamethrower and he is cooking it, and I love the little fucking meter going down. I'm like, ah, shit, I'm
He's
not
like,
gonna
fucking die already.
So what did you think? Did you think his wife was gonna show up last minute and shoot and save him, or do you think? What did you think?
No.
You thought it was just gonna work?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
Like,
think they weren't going to kill him.
It's a tense scene, but it's like at the very end.
Yeah, you can't
he's
do the
just
same.
Like, all right, he finally got it.
Yeah.
You can't do the same thing that Joel just did to save Abby. So, yeah. Eventually, it just runs out of steam, burnt to a crisp, and falls right next to him. But, yeah. Let's go back to
The lodge.
Joel. Yeah, Joel is about to go back to Jackson. You could tell he is super concerned about Jackson. Yes, they're temporary safe. He's like, all right, everybody suit up, get your weapons, let's go. Because Abby kind of promised him we'll help in the fight at one point.
But she says, and this
is Joel. And then everybody is like, oh, yeah.
Bum, bum, bum.
the plan worked. Then they take Deanna. They're like, all right, we're just going to inject her.
We're going to put her to sleep.
Put her to sleep for an hour. She's going to be fine. They disarm him.
They pull all their guns on Joel while he's trying to call Jackson, and it's sad, you know. And she's like,
it's over.
What do we look like? And I was like, you don't want me to answer that question. Joel says military. I'm like, motherfuckers, the bald-headed lady, this pregnant lady, is a tiny little girl.
You look like
misfits.
you look like you just went to Old Navy and got a bunch of brand new clothes, because in no way do you look like people that have been surviving the apocalypse for 20 years or whatever the number of years is. So
he says military, then he says fireflies. I would have said kids playing cosplay, punk kids playing cosplay. I don't know, playing dress up. And then, you know, she asked him to be honest. When's the last time? He said Salt Lake. He is honest. Oh, well, you're handsome and you're honest. I'm still going to kill you. And then, you know, throughout her speech, she gives him her speech, and the actress is having fun chewing the scenery, and then she kind of turns into a revenge person. Her attitude kind of changes, and she revels in this. And throughout her speech, it did bother me that he never said that her dad was going to, I don't know.
Anything. Yeah, that's the same problem we have with the game. Right?
Yeah, your dad was about to operate on somebody who couldn't defend themselves, because she's like, we don't kill people that can't defend ourselves. Oh, you mean like the little girl that your father was going to operate on and kill her
He
brain?
also wasn't unarmed either. So
and just like she said, you know, try to appeal to that. But like Alex says, and you could clearly tell, it doesn't matter what he says in this moment.
He's going to die.
He knows it doesn't matter. He knows he's going to die. And at a certain point, he kind of agrees with it. He's like, I made that choice. I did kill like 18 people. I saved Ellie. And sometimes this can happen, and I just got trapped.
Well, in a way, also further pissing off an absolute fucking psycho endangers Dina, too. So it's like, it doesn't do... He's going to die. He knows he's going to die. So it's like, you don't piss off this woman, so she kills Dina, who's unconscious, too.
Yep. So, yeah, it sucks. But like I said, Dina's asleep, so she doesn't really get to see any of this. And
they switch it up, though.
Yeah, was it?
They switch it up. She does hit him with a club, just on his leg.
Yeah, so she's not like...
Yeah, she's not bashing like Alex is doing.
Mm-hmm.
She uses her fist this time.
Yeah, that was also very silly, that she wanted to get the punches in. She's like, lady, you're going to break your goddamn hand.
Yeah. Joel nods his head at one of those moments and wanted to call that out. She looks over, she sees some golf clubs, and I guess that inspires her. And as she goes to the golf club, she's like, you know, and then it's Joseph, shut the fuck up already. Yeah. I love that.
Just do it
already.
already.
Just fucking do it. And
I like it.
Yeah.
You don't tell me what to do. I'm going to take
And
my
then
time.
that's when we get her stupid, shut up, old man. You don't get to rush this. And then she proceeds to hit him with the golf clubs over and over. Meanwhile, Ellie is riding at that moment. So as you're hearing him getting killed and beaten to death, she goes into the mansion thingy and
She
shows
hears
up
a
too late.
commotion. She kind of like the video game. She kind of goes in. They ambush her and then pin her down and watch her.
She slices one dude up, and he wants to kill
He's pretty
him.
pissed. I think it's Manny, I think. Yeah. And anyways, so Ellie's like, please stop. They fucking restrain her, put her on the ground. And you do see Joel noticing Ellie. So at the very least, it's fucking sad that Joel has to die at this moment because he's at his lowest. He's at a fight with her. We presume they haven't made up, but they have. And then Jackson is in trouble. Dina's in danger, which he did call her, it seems like he has surrogate relationships more so in the show than the game with other young kids. He even calls Abby before she turns on him kid, which will lead to eventually his protection. He wants to protect everybody. Anyways, but yeah, Abby then... So that's another change from the video game, because I always thought, if you're hitting somebody over and over to death with a golf club, it's going to fucking break. But in the video games, that thing is it's made of, I don't know, titanium,
pretty strong.
adamantium fucking golf club. But this one does break, and she takes that broken golf club and she stabs him in the back of the head or the neck, which kills him. Mm-hmm. That when Ellie says,
"No,"
the muffled scream,
and.
Well, she could constantly say, like, get up, get up, get up, get up.
And then she says, I'm going to kill you.
Oh,
I'm going to kill all of you. And that turns her into evil Ellie.
And they let her live.
And for no
Repeat
reason,
the
they
cycle.
let her live. For no reason, they let her live.
Because we're going to break it later.
And for no reason, they let Dina live. However, the show does a little bit better job setting this up because some of her crew keep trying to do little protests here and there. And so they would not be on board killing other women for no reason. Especially when they have women in their crew.
You have a code, Joe. You don't kill people who are unarmed and can't defend themselves. Like this very armed woman who definitely tried to defend herself and Joel. And so it's like it would be within code to kill her. Okay.
And then Ellie crawls to Joel. It's sad. She's crying. The music goes. And we get the game Ellie starting to sing the song. If you didn't know, that was the voice actress that plays Ellie in the video game. And again, but I didn't feel anything. Like I didn't tear up. I wasn't feeling a lot of emotion, and that could have just been that, I've seen it before.
It detracted for me because I think that they did. It was a reminder that we didn't get the Ellie.
Yep.
And so it's like
the
song is great. I love the song. The song needs to be there, but it's just like oh hey. You're not getting this the version of Ellie that that you like.
Yeah, and then did I miss some Jackson stuff?
We go back to Jackson and they release the dogs.
Dogs,
and then,
that's the one I wanted to talk about.
They release the dogs, and then that's their turning point.
So Tommy's wife decides to sacrifice all their dogs. And then the dogs have this fucking hero moment. For some reason, the dogs turn into superheroes or something, and they kill all the infected
dogs
Dogs are superheroes, Joe.
They are, but they really play this up.
I don't know
but
about
I'm
moose.
like, I don't remember in the video game. Well, the dogs were actually on Abby's side, and then Abby was playing with dogs. But they do the Jackson dogs here. But what I'm trying to figure out is, did you just literally murder all your dogs? Because the dogs are going to attack the zombies. Number one, you're going to lose some dogs just from pure attrition. But also, if the dogs are like biting and chewing and eating on infected, they're going to be infected. So you have to kill all your dogs afterwards anyway. And I was like, God damn it.
It was last resort because that was the turning point.
Unless they imply that dogs are immune. And, Jackson will still have dogs. I'm looking for the dogs. Next episode.
Well,
any dog survivors.
I mean, do you think that they're going to do the low rent, like hack writer bullshit where Ellie murders a dog and then Abby pets the dog for
yeah.
emotional manipulation.
They're not gonna do
Because
that.
again, that's what you
That's
do if you
shit.
do not know how to develop characters.
No, yeah, I think
Kicks
that's why they
dogs.
put a dog scene in here, and they glorify the dogs as heroes because it's like, don't worry, in the video games we killed the dogs, and here the dogs are the heroes. That's why I think the dogs will be surviving, and they're just like wagging their tails after
They top the
killing
dogs.
Then Ellie's gonna
I
come
think
back.
there is
Kill all the
dogs
dogs.
And, like,
survivors.
kick
I
the
already saw
dogs.
dogs moving around. I'm like, are they going to shoot that dog later, or does the infected not transfer via bite?
find out.
It's only if they get bit, not if you bite the infected.
It's not the way
So
it
you
works.
can kill infected if you bite them, but if they bite you, then,
So that's the difference between venomous and poisonous, Joe.
there you go. Oh, look at that. But without context, in my opinion, that sad song is still a sad song, but it just doesn't hit deeper. The context of the guitar scene, the context that you're teaching the song and doing all this doesn't hit as hard, so that's why I went with an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, then they have the scene of them dragging the body back, which I'm surprised
Oh, yeah.
their crew left them the horses.
Wait a
They weren't
minute.
taking the
Oh,
horses.
you think they would have spanked the horses to
No,
just
taking the
fuck them
horses.
over?
Well, one of them
Oh,
was
no,
Jen-
they
one-
came on their own horses. Ellie came on her own horse.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just
but
saying
Abby's
Abby's
crew-
crew. I was like, let's take these fucking horses.
Oh, they didn't come with horses.
No.
You're right.
So they do have maybe they took Joel and Dina's horse,
Yeah.
but so one of the horses at the end is definitely Jesse's, and then the other one you just assume I don't know.
Okay.
But you're right. They should have taken all of the horses.
yeah.
But it's like they
All right,
added
so
that at the end.
Maybe they don't like horses. Horses can be dicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
I won't be
Nora
walking in the
Harris
snow.
is the character's name of that bald-headed chick in the game. So in the game, it's Nora Harris. It was played by Chelsea Lavares in the game, but now it's the intergalactic chip, Tati Gabrielle, which is incredibly stupid and distracting. And by the way, I did look this up. Ellie, it turns out Abby's actress, whatever her name is, was cast as Ellie. She was cast as Ellie a long time ago for the movie version. This is all behind the scenes stuff. They had a movie going on, but it took so long into production, she got aged out. And it's kind of one of the reasons. I know that's, yes, please have that reaction because fucking Bella Ramsey. But the producers or whoever thought she aged out. And the reason why she came back into the running is, well, they felt bad for that, but also Abby's supposed to be this mirror image of Ellie, you know what I mean? So they're kind of playing on that. So they thought that would be clever. I was like, no, get the chick from Love Lies Bleeding where she's actually muscular and fucking let's go.
Well, and
let's roll with it. I
if-
want the punching zombies in the face. Negative one
She
more
was.
point because we will not get zombie punching.
You did. Well, like she got.
We got no zombie punching.
She's pretty powerful punching.
She was punching Joel in the face over and over and over
and
and
not
over
breaking her hand.
Well, we can't. Why do the mirror image thing if in no way are they a mirror image of each other?
I think they're implying that they are mirror images of each other.
In this iteration,
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yes, because obviously Abby wants revenge. For
Oh, I'm
having
talking
her father
physically.
figure killed. Yeah, later on. That's what you're talking before.
No, you said that they cast her because
The
they want to do
looks.
for the looks. I don't think she
Looks.
looks anything
No, not-
close to what she.
That's what he's saying.
No, not looks.
Well, that's
I'm
what-
saying looks. I think
Yeah.
it's dumb for them to be like if they wanted to cast her as mirror image because she looks fucking nothing like our TV
Emotional
show.
journey mirror.
Yeah, well then it
image.
doesn't matter what she looks like. You got to cast fucking
Right.
anybody.
Exactly. I
Could
agree.
cast
Danny
me.
DeVito.
Yes.
Why are you always saying that?
He's the best.
I love Danny,
Danny DeVito. Just Danny DeVito and everything.
That's 10
Walking
out of
around
10.
Danny DeVito.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. But anyways, it's fate that kills Joel. He saves another girl, and it's his greatest weakness for saving them little girls, but it's also his greatest strength because that's Joel in his protection.
Number one rule in the apocalypse: don't be a hero.
Don't be a hero. That's
Nope.
why you run.
I thought it was
run
cardio.
away every time in zombie games.
Well,
And
And
leave
he
us
abandoned. He
behind.
abandons us every
Abandons
time. Yeah.
us. Okay, anything else? I think we covered pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Well, we have. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do.
It's funny because this is meta stuff. Manny in the video game got, Neil Druckmann got a lot of heat because Manny looks almost exactly like him and in the video game he calls Joel a pendejo and he spits on him, but they took that out. He doesn't. He actually still calls him a pendejo.
He does, yeah.
But he doesn't spit on him as they do in the video game. And that people were reading a little too much into that, thinking that that was Neil Druckmann shitting on Joel, even though Neil Druckmann shit on Joel in order to try to make the story work a little bit better. Yeah, that's still there. And then we already pointed out how the bloater is CGI, not the practical suit. Whatever happened to that fucking suit? Did the suit get stolen off the set like the Spider-Man suit and Sam Raimi? And that he could have responded, but again, we'll make the excuse that, it's like, yeah, your dad tried to kill a kid, and I was saving that kid.
Yeah.
It was like my daughter, but whatever, we'll say.
An unarmed surgeon. It's like, well, he had a scalpel, and I don't think he actually was a doctor, right? He was. He
And
was
if
just
he
a
was
biologist?
a doctor, then your dad's a piece of shit because you would have took the Hippocratic Oath, which says do no fucking harm. So fuck you.
But yeah, I don't think he was a doctor. I don't think so.
I think it was
Doesn't count.
supposed to be one of the only doctors.
Mel is the only doctor.
All right. Anyways, and they also fixed the part about how does a club not break? They broke the club.
Use a bunch of clubs.
Yep. All right. Well, that's about it, guys. So, what did you think? Overall, a strong episode for its entertainment value, fixing some of the issues from the video games. But now a crossroads, a culmination. Are the audience going to stick around? Or did they get as pissed? Did they have the emotions? It's probably so hard at this point, at least amongst our YouTube commenters and our ecosystem, to find people that had no idea this was going to happen and get their genuine reactions and think, did they do a good job? Or are you as mad as us? Do you not want to watch the show anymore? Or are you willing to watch the rest of season 2 because there's flashbacks, and then season 3, fuck that. It's going to be interesting to see. So, all right. Well, that's about it. Thank you so much for sticking with us. And I can't wait for The Last of Us Part 3 to be adapted for Ellie's peanut allergy. Remember, we called that many years ago. Alex says that Neil Druckmann says there's no more Last of Us.
That's what he says.
Not happening. I think he's just saying that until money is driven and dumped in front of him and we get a Last of Us 3 video. After they do Intergalactic, I think they're going to pause things for a while. They were thinking about plans. They probably have some pre-production. They said, nah, we'll wait and we'll bring it in the future.
What if it's a prequel? You'd play it.
Prequel?
Yes.
Nah.
Yeah.
Not interested.
If you play it around as Joel?
Nah.
Okay.
But all this, no, everything happens already. We've seen the prequel. We got the prequel. We got Joe's daughter. We got all that. It would have to be just characters that have nothing. It just have to be completely different characters. And if you're good enough writers and you want to prove it, then you do it like that. But then that's just another zombie game. And credit to Neil Druckmann for making one of the best zombie game kind of storylines ever with Joel and Ellie. And then credit to Druckmann for kind of screwing it up in the video game.
Yep, it's up there with Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Fixing it a little
Credit
bit.
to The Road, which it was loosely based on.
Credit to The Road. Yep.
You should read The Road. If you're too happy in life and you want to feel terrible about everything all the time,
I'm good.
read The Road.
I'm good.
Is there a movie?
There
Do I
is
have to
with
put in 17
with
hours?
Viggo Mortensen's in it.
Oh, well, that's even better.
Yeah,
But it's not as good as the book.
Book is bad.
the book has some scenes that they could not have put in the movie.
Okay.
And it's if you're feeling too good about
Scary.
yourself,
Okay.
read The Road.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much, and we will put your comments down below. We'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe show. Bye, guys.